Hello and welcome to Season 2 of our Ponyfinder campaign. Welcome to Dawn's Watch. We're going back to as mentioned last week, if you heard it through the massive number of audio issues, we are going back to our original campaign and continuing on. However, unlike our previous time where we ran it in 5e, we are now trying a hodgepodge hacked version of the Pathfinder 2 playtest rules that we have to make work until the official Pathfinder 2 rules are released. And in addition to that, we are using a very much jury-rigged version of the Ponyfinder rules to provide our race options for the group. So, as always, I am your Game Master, Thomas, and I am joined by...
Magical Trevor, playing as Moon Snow Leatherwing Ranger.
And I am Razzle, the Earth Pony, Sun Pony, Drunk Monk, and we now have more seasons than Firefly.
And now you have made half the nerds watching us sad.
Yes! Give me your tears. They power me.
Okay. Was expecting that much evil from you, but alright.
I'm Kitsune, and I will be playing Lilith, the ball pony.
But yeah, so tonight we're not actually going to be playing as so much as we are going to be kind of fleshing out, similar to what we did from the Ashes, where we're going to kind of flesh out the city of Dawn's Watch for our players to kind of have some elements they want to see in this game. Over the course of tonight, we're going to try to, as soon as I find the document. Wait, why is that? Oh yeah, turn off stop studio mode. So I hope that was transmitting. 1 second here while I quick refresh some stuff here.
Okay.
So I just need to get my outgoing preview refreshed to the right screen. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so over the course of tonight, we're going to try to figure, for each person, I'm going to try to get a plot seed for something to do with their character, some notable location they want to see in the town, a quick, like a one-sentence idea for an NPC that will be antagonistic towards their character, an NPC that's going to be friendly / helpful to their character, and just one potpourri answer where it's just something interesting about the town that they want to see in us. Also, ideally, I think Jane had not said about not joining us, just appears to be running late with food, so she will be here eventually. So, I hope. Yes. So, first off, let me start off with the elements I have created for the town of Dawn's Watch. Dawn's Watch is a town situated on the border between the material realm and the Feywild, or the First World, depending on what system you're playing. It is home to the realm of the true Fey. It is on the border of it. It was originally put there to watch against the incursions from this primal plane, but in time it has grown. As the attack slowed, the city itself has grown as well. There are numerous factions that grow and struggle within the town, from noble houses to the colleges of Dawn's Watch to a cult of the Nightmare herself within the walls of this town. So yeah. Like I said, most of this other information is stuff that you'll discover more in play, and it's stuff I can kind of integrate your ideas into. Jane, you made it.
Yes, I made it. Sorry.
Yay!
I was
I
correct.
was grabbing food. It took a little longer than I expected.
2 hours?
No, I was distracted up till like an hour. Oh, wait, so I'm here now. That's all that matters.
Yes. This is Jane, player of Volt Solaris, the Suncat Cleric.
I think you mean Cat Rick?
No. No, I don't.
No, no pun names. Damn it.
The Claire Cat.
That pun is even too bad for him.
No, I just don't feel like acknowledging it. I'm allowed to do that.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
The king, I can do whatever
No,
I
you're
want.
not.
I'm the one with the power here. I'm the one with the big boy pants.
I'm the one.
Uh-oh,
with the
guys, he's
power.
going mad with power.
Instead of just mad like I normally am.
Of course.
Yes.
Sorry, honey, but I'm the one dating the power, which means
I'm
not
sorry.
working.
I'm sorry, hon. I'm not doing the whole GM's girlfriend thing.
I know.
I am specifically not doing that because I am trying to be fair.
Excellent.
So yeah, so
Not fair.
You're already getting a
He's
pet dragon.
taking
We gotta
power
stop
away
that.
from everyone relatively equally.
Yep.
right. So yes, and speaking of taking power away from you, let's help create the setting together instead of me just creating everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's
Yay,
that's how removing
teamwork.
power from the set from you guys works. Is I let you help create things. So yeah, so let's start with kind of, well, first off, let's say, does anyone have an idea for a kind of a plot hook or something you want to deal with for your character, like a plot, something I can make a storyline about of in this city of Dawn's Watch?
Well, let me see if so. Keeping in mind our prior original campaign we ran, so is this just completely something we could completely revamp in some ways of our like character's identity and backstory and all that, or
Some to some degree, yeah, because the idea is the world we're looking at a slightly different universe, like we did once before when we went from a place where you had a fellow party member and you had Phoenix wolves instead of Volponies.
that was
So
the universe?
that was
I don't
the
remember.
twice as confused now.
Yes,
That-
I don't remember this universe. I think you're just imagining things.
yes, and Razzle will continue
Weren't they
to be
already?
slightly
They were
aware of
always
these.
Volt.
But yeah, so some degree of it, like I'm not expecting, like I would look at you askance if you made Volt into a womanizer or something. Like I would definitely look askance at you because that
Oh,
is
obviously, I totally.
But
All right, so Volt is now a womanizer. Okay.
no.
Man, I obviously. Come on.
Do you want your butt kicked?
Wait, why are you?
Only if it's butt kicking for goodness.
Also, you
I was curious about redesigning my character's identity and where I go with them.
yeah, like we can kind of, and obviously we didn't get super into a lot of your guys' backstories in a pre-written campaign because there wasn't as much room for that kind of thing. So
Because we were running a module, so
Yep.
thus we had to stick primarily to the plot of the module.
yeah, though in the future, I imagine I'm probably going to be doing more modules in the future, but weaving in my own elements into it because I think that kind of does do well for me. So, but that is not what we're doing today. We are doing something
Modules.
off the rails.
That's not a problem to me.
We're doing off the rails creative stuff here. So,
Oh, so question.
yes.
Because I know one thing that you had asked all of us was to come up with some sort of plot thing. Is this the same thing?
This is that thing, yes.
Okay. Then I know mine.
Okay.
I want Lilith to basically get in massive trouble for stealing from the wrong person,
Or the wrong item.
stealing the wrong item, or whether it's a cursed item or just
All right.
ending up in deep shit because she just stole from the person she should not have stolen from.
Trouble for stealing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's... I have some things I could definitely tie that.
Sounds more like antagonistic NPC, but
I mean, I could connect to that. Like,
Yeah,
Well, it could also be stealing from.
yeah, like the two can be tied together. Like your plot can be from your antagonistic to NPC. Like a lot of you guys were kind of defined by what opposed you in the Ashes game.
Mm-hmm. Tab, like, we're trying to steal things.
And even from Mask.
well,
Yeah.
The plot seed that I would like to request is something like going on between the Moon Princess and the Nightmare, since Moon Snow worships Moon Princess, and Razzle is very clearly going towards Nightmare. Like, not that they hate each other, but like there's clearly some trouble going on with the temples and just.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. With some,
I'm just
if we're going for god-based stuff, I'm totally behind that. Being a cleric, you know.
Well, it's just my thought process is, in general, the gods and goddesses try to stay relatively equal, quote unquote, and with the Nightmare having a new agent, so to speak, in the area, aka our monk, it would make sense that the Moon Princess is either going to start looking for an agent or bring one of her already existing agents into the area to investigate, or, just...
Yeah, and
there's a bunch of things that could be done.
And possibly multiple agents, because another thing I remembered is I have a Mark II.
Yeah, both Razzle and Lilith were not so much voluntarily serving the Nightmare as press ganged into serving the Nightmare.
Yep, I've done your service. You're my buddies now.
Yeah, I was like, yes, goddess, I do not want to piss you off.
But yeah, no, and what I can see here, actually, I actually have a good thing is, see, the Nightmare is an old. Is the native kind of patron of this town, actually. But you have a bunch of new conquerors who have conquered this town, and maybe these are the quote-unquote favorite horse in the race for the Moon Princess. Something that she sees could provide a harmonious versus a dominating existence. So I can kind of go from there on that way, if that sounds like something that would work for what you have in mind.
Maybe. I don't know. I have nothing super specific in mind. Okay. Just,
Yep, no, like...
acknowledgement that while all the goddesses want Ponykind to prosper and so on and so forth, they all have their own vision of what said prospering is and how to go about doing it.
And then there's
some of that contention.
Yeah. And then there's the unspoken.
Yes.
But yeah, so, alright.
I mean, he helped stop us from evolving into puddles of goo. So that counts for something, maybe.
Yeah. Alright. Razzle Dazzle.
How would you keep us from turning into puddles of goo?
I was thinking of more focusing on the politics within the Nightmare's court.
Okay. So you want to? All right.
Because Razzle's pretty much the new fish in this religion, so it's probably a hierarchy or something that
okay.
He needs.
I can definitely see power struggles.
That would be very funny to have the very chaotically drunkard character who is our quote link to the Nightmare, basically being our introduction as to how is this society set up.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
he's kind of the Titus of this world.
Just don't laugh. Just don't laugh.
No, laugh more. Obviously.
Anyways, but yeah, so if any of you have read the first Discworld novel, which is okay, the later ones are still better, but the phrase "dead men's pointy shoes" is what I wrote down for your notes, Razzle.
Okay.
Basically, the idea.
I have not read that, so I do not get the reference.
Basically, it's the idea that to claim higher positions of power, removing someone who inhabits that position is a valid course of discourse.
Okay, so I need to beat my way up to the top.
Yep,
sounds about right.
I think
I'm number one and steal the number one headband.
Yeah. No one steals. Not from me.
Well,
not from me. I steal from everyone else.
Nothing stays stolen from you.
I'll steal it back.
I'd say something, but I'm smarter than that.
What did you steal from me?
And I assume we're
Nothing.
if we sort of changed certain things outside of, like, of course, our inventory is going to get slightly changed, but none of those items were, like, key to our character at the moment.
Yeah.
And of course, the level of certain things, like me now having to wait till Divine Roar for another level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, nothing that would majorly impact like plot
No.
is probably going to get changed unless we really feel it's necessary.
Yeah. Like, you are free to tweak stuff, and for the most part, a lot of stuff falls under, well, no one said anything about it, so it's perfectly fine to introduce this thing you haven't spoken about before.
I like a little bit about my backstory of the whole fact of I'm still completely fine with being, quote, a daddy wasn't there kind of story of, like, my character having known their mother, and that's, like, she was part of the Suncat tribe or whatever, but her father was basically not around, and thus there's open ends to, quote, where is her dad? What did he do? What kind of person was he?
This is going to be a storyline where we find out your dad was, like, I don't know, the main villain.
You know, he could just be some random farmer.
No, I actually had ideas on that one, because that was what you had discussed back when we ended the first season, so I actually have some ideas on that one already. So that,
yeah.
No, but no, that's, like, so yep, so I put down for your note, I put down, Daddy went out for smokes.
That's pretty accurate. Why do we have such a thing for having, like, missing parent figures? I don't know. Maybe it's just to add a little bit of discord.
Yeah, are you projecting something here? Do you need a
I was
hug?
gonna say I have a missing dad too.
Ironically, I am actually pretty privileged, so me giving my character some sort of
trust me, you're not the only
parent
one.
at least adds something to my character.
Are you talking about me?
Yes,
you
I
talking
am.
about me and my?
Yes, your daddy issues.
I don't have daddy issues. My characters have daddy issues. Well, that's you.
Well, actually, that explains why she's fallen for Snow, because he dresses in a suit.
Aw, man.
I'm like,
he
does
looks
all my characters have,
reliable.
like, parent issues? Because I'm like, my character was an orphan.
I had a perfectly normal nest, thank you.
Nest.
Did your father run off with you when you were a little kid?
No. He's still living with Mom in their cave.
Anyways.
We can't have you
Razzle,
anymore.
okay. If Razzle's the orphan, you messed up, because you could have been Batman.
Ah.
Except
instead of being, a badass martial artist. Oh, wait. Crap.
Batman, and said you're drunk.
He's
so
drunk.
You could have been Batman, but you instead became Tony Stark.
Exactly.
The armor. Tony Stark without the armor.
Oh, this is a good sign that we're having this much fun, not even yet getting into game. Like, we've not had this much excitement going in a while. I think this is definitely a good idea. So, all right, I kind of got...
Well, it helps that we've been on a long break, so I think we are all a little anxious to get back into it a little bit.
Yeah. It's been actually a little over a year, I discovered today when I was re-listening to the last episode of the first season.
No, exactly. That's why I was like, holy crap.
Yeah. All right. Notable locations now. I got a plot seed for everyone. I have some ideas here, and I can make these even interweave with my primary plot, so... But notable, what would be a place you want to see in this town?
If I may focus on my character a moment.
Yep.
I'm, depending on how the plot, what idea you have for the basic town itself, and like whatever plot we're stumbling into when we get here. If technically, as the author being, in quote, her actual name, if there was like a hidden room or something in the library of where, quote, there was a temple, a little temple or whatever to, quote, my god.
Okay.
That would just make sense as from what her actual title is and everything.
Yeah, Shayla the Author is the official name of the deity. That is known. It's just...
depending on the situation, whether it be like if it was just a normal town where nothing was happening, yeah, maybe it was would have been more like a book club. But like, say if it's a repressed individuals of some people coming in with like an ideology and forcing it down people's throats, then maybe it's just a hidden little back room or whatever.
Okay. So,
Maybe
all right.
just
So I wrote down your notable location: Legends of a Hidden Temple.
Yes.
Um,
Wait. What team would I be on then?
I could see you being the Silver Barracudas.
Ah,
The trick is
we
to
just have that audio play every time we go in there.
no, just it was
like
just
how
say,
you're just giving all your notes like all these little references in your notes.
basically I write these notes like I would write a Fate aspect. It's a catchy little line that makes me think of the flavor.
mhm.
So
No, I get that. That's entirely works perfect.
also for some of the people who are at home and possibly players who are more familiar with it, this campaign was actually recycled from an Exalted campaign I never got to run.
Ah,
Mm.
Hence the whole being on the edge of the realm of the Fae.
I'm just thinking like, man, Pony Exalted, so that'll be fun.
I've actually read a fan fiction on that one. Funny enough, it's one of the few I've actually read.
Ah,
We already have Fey ponies. Ponies are Fey in the first place, so
Yeah,
you know.
You need to read more. I'm making mental lists in my head.
I am curious. Is the whole thing about ponies being part Fey like canon in their actual universe, or is that just
No,
kind of a
that's
game
just-
mechanic thing that they
It's
decided to
explaining
import?
the radical colors and just the very nature of ponies.
Ability
being
to
as-
talk with your mouth full and
Yeah.
things like that.
All right. Any other locations that immediately leap to mind of what you want to have in this town?
I have
This
something.
All right, go ahead, hun.
So okay, castle.
All right,
Kind of very similar to the castle in Kingdom Hearts, like Birth by Sleep. And
like
yeah.
Land of Departure Castle.
not Land of Departure, the one.
Oh, Land of Departure Castle.
Quiet.
Yeah, I'm pretty cool with that. I'm pretty cool with that.
Pause. That was not what you wanted. Go ahead, hun.
Radiant Garden.
Radiant Garden. Okay.
Oh, Radiant Garden.
Yeah, you know the one that like Xehanort and all the others are in.
I understand that, but why did you go Birth by Sleep and not like Kingdom Hearts 2 or Hollow
Because
Bell?
it's my
Even
favorite-
Kingdom Hearts 1.
because it's my favorite game.
Ah, okay.
And I wanted specifically for it to be based upon the more the sciencey stuff that's going within that the stuff that's going on within the castle that is not going on later on, but it is going on during Birth by
Yeah,
Sleep.
but basically before the town is being abandoned and is being reclaimed, that you want it more at its peak than at its recovery. Yeah, no.
Yes.
Okay.
Heck, for all we know, this group
Yeah,
that comes
a
in and
castle
ruins it
with a
by
lot of
pushes
secret
closer
stuff going
to.
on in it.
Go ahead, hun. Repeat what you just said.
Basically, a castle with like some secret stuff going
Okay.
on in it.
I can work with that.
And tie him with the library I had.
All right. Other locations, peoples.
the Spider's Silk. It's a place for nobles, typically women and mayors, to go to gossip over tea and biscuits that doubles as a boutique.
That's
Basically,
adorable.
the idea being that while their outfits are being made, they can have tea and whatnot and gossip and whatnot. Come into my parlor, said the spider to the fly.
Oh, so it's kind of like a coffee shop meets a outfit store?
That is actually a really cool concept and
Yeah,
surprisingly
because
detailed.
Because
I like that.
giant spiders exist, and thus, if their silk were to be gathered in the right manner and whatnot, it could be highly depending on how it's done, it could arguably be highly durable, still, whatnot. So
Really nice looking.
Yeah. Also, I'm
I'm
just
just
laughing
thinking-
at the fact that from listening to the last game, a moon hates spiders.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
That's what I'm laughing about too.
yeah, I hate spiders. Your point?
Don't worry, you're not the only one here.
You're debating a counter place for him.
Well, no, as a person and most of my characters, I hate spiders, but
No.
they're still fascinating-ish. As long as
Hey,
don't think too hard about
ironically, that actually fits in with the
tarantulas
RP
are
character I played in
adorable.
another game. I was playing a fashion designer who had a giant pet spider, who did similar things in that case.
Okay. Razzle, you're the last one who had to find a place in town.
Yeah, the only thing I can really think of is kind of like no duh, but I was thinking like a Church of the Nightmare, places are not my thing normally.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, I understand. That's like,
It's a little odd for us all.
yeah, it's like I said, this is just to kind of create interesting locales and just to fill out the details of it, because I can structure a primary plot, but I'm not as good at filling out the details. And with you guys filling the details, it kind of helps you feel like ownership of the setting as well.
Yeah.
I got a minor idea that actually could help tie in a little bit, because the town's name is Dawn's Watch, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What if there's a nice large cliff that leads over the side where dawn approaches, so thus where the town got its name is because you could get a really good view of dawn from that peak or area.
That could work.
I like that idea.
Yeah, and that's actually what I can do with that is I'll probably have that's also where the edge, the veil between this world and the first world, where the Fae are from, is by this cliff, because the other reason why it's called Dawn's Watch is where the sun came from was also from where the Fae came from, and that's the other reason why it watched the dawn to make sure that things weren't coming in from there.
All right, sure. I'll steal that idea from Jane.
Okay.
Yep. How dare you steal? Don't you know it's donuts?
Stealing is fun.
Oh man, I should make my antagonist donut steal.
I would like to state that the official stance of this stream is that stealing is not fun. It is painful, and it is something you should not do.
Stealing is fun.
Reiterate, our official stance on here is...
That's fun.
That's your official stance. That is never going to be Lilith's stance.
I don't care who it's Lilith. It's the stance of the stream. That's all that matters.
Boo.
Also, I would like to reiterate that the views expressed on this stream are solely of those expressing them.
Boo.
Tell sometimes which ones are Leah's versus which one are her characters.
The
All
world may
right.
never know.
1, 2, 3. Time for antagonists.
Dun dun dun.
People who are going to be a thorn in your side. Like the mailman.
Darn, mailman always loses my letters.
So yeah, but no, what would be something that you would find that would probably want to not get along with your character and kind of just oppose them in what they do, like make life difficult. Maybe not necessarily working to directly thwart them, but something like a Newman type character to all the way up to a masked vigilante seeking justice for all those enslaved.
Dingleberg.
That too. Yeah.
Yeah, the Dinkelbergs. You need our Dinkelbergs. aka not true antagonists, but characters that just kind of serve as
Yeah, they're not gonna be
Well, yeah, well,
true one.
they can do
Yeah,
whatever
not-
you want them to. They just have to be something that complicates things for you.
Okay.
Like it could be like if you were a magical girl, your dad could be an antagonist because you're trying to keep your secret identity away from them. Because if you don't, you'll be turned into a slug, I guess.
We're talking, because I was going to say, if we were talking true antagonists, that would be an option that would be open for my character's father. But if we're just talking about irritation and stuff, I'll have to think
it can
about
be
that.
anything you want it to be. That's the
Yeah,
idea.
it's either one.
Something you want we just need something to complicate your life in this town. So this is an NPC that will complicate things.
Oh boy. Okay, I know what mine is.
All right. Well, why don't we start with you then, Trevor?
A potential suitor.
Ooh.
Oh, how
And
dare
with the relation, I like this. This works.
I will hurt them.
For that plot element,
Which
I
is
have...
what-
No, promise. Maybe you should make this character immune to sneak attack.
I'm not making this an elemental just to make it immune to sneak attacks. I'm sorry.
Well, there are other feats and classes that would be good counters to rogue, just so you could prevent Lilith from murdering this character outright.
I mean, for all you know, she could be a rogue too. No one knows how to rogue like another rogue.
I'm just imagining it.
After all, she's going to try to steal your heart.
I think we could argue that this is not only your antagonist, but partially mine. I mean, I'll come up with my own, but still.
Yes, I have added the summary for this is suitor yourself.
As what yourself?
Suitor yourself.
Suitor.
As
Or
in-
you could just say making a love triangle.
I know, but I like the pun on suit yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so is
Boo!
all right. So is are you the Betty or the Veronica in this situation, Lilith?
Oh, she is totally the Veronica.
I'm always the Veronica. Good.
Yeah.
So wait, so the suitor should be a Betty, aka someone just super nice and cheerful and
Well,
happy,
it's the exotic versus the homegrown kind of thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Lilith is definitely would be the exotic.
Bitch, I'm
Oh,
better.
indeed.
She's the exotic, high maintenance,
Yeah.
beauty.
Like shiny things.
Whereas Betty is the girl next door, friendly, cheerful, just
Oh, so is this
The
fiance
safe
of
bet.
yours actually like someone you knew from childhood? It's just kind of
not
left
probably not
Sure.
going to be anyone I know from childhood, no. But it's the idea of pretty
Oh.
much at first glance, you know what type of person they are, you're comfortable with them, etc. But part of what makes Veronica so enticing is she's different. You
Yeah, that's why it's weird to go from the complete opposite end. That would make an interesting story.
I think Jane
Switch
would be
instead
the
of
only one who
starting
gets
off
this,
with
but
girl
she's
next
the
door
stallion
and-
from the Tangled TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've not watched the actual show on that, but anyways, so okay.
It's good.
Well,
It's a
Stallion
classic
was
comic.
like the daughter of this criminal overlord who's like Flynn Rider's fiance. Before,
Oh yeah! Oh, you're talking about that? Yeah, I
Yeah.
could see that. Maybe.
All right. Well, I have some ideas too. So
For mine, I'm thinking kind of the Snape kind of counterpoint, like the higher up of the very kind of strict kind of mentorish person above me.
all right.
Razzle.
And if I might also add in, just because of the flavor of it, you should make this character also a dwarf, so they could have even better alcohol tone for Dustin's character.
All right. I think I'm going to pause here before we go on more of that. I'll at least name all the factions in the town, just so you guys may have some more ideas of what's going on here.
Mhm.
In industry, a information broker organization turned mercenary. The colleges of Dawnwatch, the collective institutions of higher learning within Dawn's Watch. The Justicar, the city's peacekeepers and first line of defense. The noble houses from an elven empire. These are what your Moon's family is affiliated with. Dawn Seekers, a collective group of patrons who seek to fund and promote the arts. Wild Blazers, a trained company of outland riders who are largely responsible for handling natural and fae-based threats to the city. Cult of Fading Light, the priests and adherents who focus on following the Lady in Darkness, a representative of the Nightmare. The God Killers. Anarchist rebellion bubbling beneath the city. So yeah, those are the factions in the town.
Mm-hmm.
So I have woven a intricate web of...
Yeah, from the names alone, I would probably say the college would be the ones that would most likely get along with.
Yeah. Oh, I already have a hook there for you. That's already been established.
Yeah, exactly. And the God Killers? Gee, as a cleric, I don't know if my character would appreciate their God
There was
being...
a fiction I actually had written that was to explain their manifesto. I'll quick read that for the people. This was posted on the Discord a while back, but I'm just going to read it for the thing. This is a post from something on the town. People of Dawn's Watch, downtrodden masses of the city, open your eyes. You are slave to masters who only right to rule you is the fact they were born to our oppressors. They are not born on our soil. They're not children of our lands. They came from across the seas and yet think themselves to be our betters. They may hold authority on this day, but the day will not last forever. Woe to our so-called masters, our self-styled gods. Your days are numbered, for the God Killers will strike down the false gods. So that's the kind of to give you an idea of the God Killers.
So it's more of these metaphorical, maybe even talking about like just the rulers of this town.
They're talking
like,
about the humans and elves and so forth who invaded Everglow.
Yeah.
From the best of my understanding.
Yep.
Oh, wait, so is this a group of primarily non-Fae striking out against the Ponyfinder Fae who have come on the land, apparently?
Kinda. Basically, they're an anarchist rebellion. They don't believe in any authority. The name is...
Authority!
Yeah, the name is actually inspired by the phrase, no God, no masters. So
it kind of makes me think of the Equalitist from like the Legend of Korra.
I have yet to see that, unfortunately. It's on my watch list.
I still need to see Korra too. Note to self, Dustin, that's what we should watch sometime soon.
Alright, yeah, we'll probably do that after Tangled.
Alright, so those are the... So, yeah, back to antagonists, but those are the main the big factions in the city right now.
So yeah, like I said, I think mine's still gonna probably be like the very Snape-ish type of character, like the highly intelligent, kind of snooty, like
someone who you're not sure their true allegiance of.
Yeah.
But are you okay with me adding to that, Dustin, to say that this character should be a dwarf? That way you could also, not challenge him to a drink-off and lose?
I'm going to point out you're already bringing a dwarf with you. Because that one dwarf you rescued at the end of Mines of Fendelver, I think, was following you along with Kurama the Kitsune.
True, but we didn't really choose him super much. He was kind of
you liked the NPC, and you're like, okay. And to be fair, the NPC did not have any of the characterization I gave him.
Yeah, like I said, the next person I'm going to make is going to be like the drunken rival.
Oh, the drunken rival. Okay, that makes sense. AKA, not a guy you may have a necessary issue with, but if you ever challenged him to a drink-off, you probably lose.
Mm-hmm. You'll see when we get to friendly NPCs.
We're part of making the NPCs right now.
Well, yeah, but this is antagonistic ones. Next one's going to be friendly, so.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want him to be an antagonist. You want him just to be a drinker.
All right, so we need one for Volt and for Lilith in antagonists.
We're just talking about minor antagonist.
Like I said, it can be any scale.
If we're doing a whole thing in a book at the library, I want to talk about this messy slob who constantly it's just basically the library worst enemy list, aka constantly returning things late, and they're in a mess and constantly making life difficult for whatever librarian lives in the city.
Yeah, I am pointing out here, these do not all have to be interconnected to each other. I am perfectly fine.
I'm just kind of pointing out a general one. Maybe if it's even not super antagonizing to my character, it's an antagonist to the poor librarian who lives and has to work at this place.
All right, so...
I might find it annoying being a pursuer of knowledge and liker of knowledgeable. But there's just that poor slob who just makes a poor librarian's life difficult.
Anyway, on to the other two.
Okay. Let's see. What I'm gonna go with is basically because you mentioned the justice system.
Yeah, the Justicar.
Justicar. Basically, just the idea of like a sheriff or a cop or something that is just like consistently thwarting my plans or trying to, and constantly trying to catch me and probably arrest me for the consistent stealing.
What's the investigator's name from Lupin?
I don't know about that, but my brain went to...
Zenigata!
But yeah, that style thing is what my brain is first thinking. Like,
my brain went to Officer Krupke from West Side Story, but...
Yeah. Or, or what's his name from Les Miserables?
Oh, John Valjean.
John Valjean. No, isn't John Valjean the other?
Not Jean Valjean.
Javert.
Yeah.
Javert.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like a Javert type thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I thought of maybe trying to go with my dad, but I want to try to develop things more.
I'm also thinking of Jacques Cousteau.
For the crazy necromancer unicorn yet.
Now we can leave like our two dads for future plot development, but if we're having minor foils for us now.
Yeah.
Plus my dad's a necromancer, so it's gonna cause extra problems for Moon too.
Oh, that could also be a really fun random NPC we could have. It's just there's this random necromancer who lives near the outskirts of town, who just randomly sends like undeads as servants to just go do like all his chores and stuff.
That's beautiful.
Actual bad dude. He's just like, I'm lazy. These are undead. I'm gonna just send them to do all my work.
Almost like Grazel was trying to not kill like last time.
You mean the person who had completely knocked out a tribe of bones person and stole their undead?
Yeah, that's right. We had that, so we could continue using that character.
Anyway, so all right, so
completely okay with that.
All right. The only one I'm unsure about right now is Volts, just because I don't know how much story that would actually generate from that.
Yeah, I wasn't saying there had to be a lot of story around that character.
Well,
I just was kind of introducing a random NPC who could exist.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know if I have a really good idea of what would be an antagonist to my character. If anyone wants to offer suggestions, I'll listen. I'm just not sure right now if there's really anything super much that would be an antagonist.
I'm just thinking maybe like a kind of rival, paladin or something like that, like another holy person that's like kind of more aggressive.
Ooh, yeah, that would be a good idea.
Oh, especially if instead of being like maybe they could be a paladin, but I'm trying to think like just is there a good counter god, or just are they a believer in the same faith as me? Just they're way more aggressive about it, but I know that since it's one of the author's teachings, is not try to force it down others' throats.
Yeah, basically, I think it's someone who is more about smiting than mercy. Because Volt strikes me as merciful.
Covering one of the other sides of the coin, as opposed. As stated, my character is more likely to be a little bit more defensive based and support based, while this character plays more like, say, a retribution paladin.
Yeah.
More about wielding a two-handed weapon going, all right, you better believe in the author or else.
Well, it's basically you're looking at someone who is more of like the Punisher versus a Superman.
Yeah.
It just strictly morals, not powers here. So, and I have some ideas I can go off that if you want me to go that way. So
I'm okay with this. But if you have a good idea or some thought process of how that could go, sure, I'm up for seeing where you go with that.
Basically,
I didn't have a major idea for this character anyway, so.
Right, what were you saying, Dustin?
I was just saying, there we go. We just traded ideas with you.
Yep. So I'm basically going to make a foil to you that's going to kind of... It's more by how you clash by how you contrast at each other, so... I can work with that, so... Alright. friendly NPCs, people who are on your side, or at least might be if you don't try to put them in a headlock again.
For me, I'm thinking kind of like a Razzle's kind of mentor, like the the headcanon I have is like she's basically Barry Punch.
Friendly drunken master?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. I have some ideas here, some fun stuff. Oh yes, I have some fun stuff now.
Yeah, and
I got another minor idea before we go into this completely.
Okay.
I think it would be very fitting for the character who's my rival to be a human. And one of their weird quirks is, outside of being very more aggressive about promoting stuff, they're also really a terrible fanfic writer. Like, they write stuff, but it is just so cringy and awful because they're trying to learn to be an author, but their stuff is so terrible. It's like, why?
I thought instead of a human, it would be a sundog or whatever the
Phoenix Wolf.
Yeah, Phoenix Wolf.
Oh my god, that would be a good counter too as well. I would buy that either. That would be okay.
All right, well, I'll think about that. We'll see what form it takes. But yeah, so all right, what other friendly NPCs here do people want to see?
Well, obviously, the part of the reason I like this library so much, there has to be a friendly, let's say Persian per se, who is the head librarian there.
Okay, a little too specific there, honestly. I need something like a rough outline, like just like a sentence, like, yeah, it's it's a little too dialed down into that. It's like, I kind of want to get you out of this library at this point. Actually, it's like a little like, okay, out of here.
Sorry. I'm not always the best at.
Yeah, it's
concept.
just more that, like, I do best when I have an outline, a direction, and I can fill in the gaps. You're not leaving me any gaps.
Try and figure something not related.
Yeah.
How about a certain sly shopkeep who had decided to follow us from the first campaign? I know technically he was already going to, but...
Well, yeah, but I could say that for either you or Lilith, honestly, for that one.
I was going to argue both, because, I mean...
Yeah.
I imagine both of us are going to be working at least somewhat towards getting Kitsune heritage feats.
Exactly.
So he could easily be like a mentor or whatnot.
Well, didn't we decide that it was the Kitsune family was the noble house here?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to make sure that was still what because that's what the assumption I was under. So.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about the shopkeep who pranked us a couple times.
Okay. I know, you were talking about learning Kitsune tricks and such, and I was just making sure of things, so, alright. But yeah, so, what other friendly types do you want to see? Alright, so, well, since we're at a lull here, alright, let me see if I can give some suggestions here, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can really think of Lilith is maybe like a thieves guild type of thing, like.
That's actually what I was thinking for a second too.
Yeah, if you wanted, like, maybe a person to set you up with some jobs with industry, because they're kind of they do any job.
Yeah, we should explore some of those other characters. those other factions per se.
Yeah.
Well, what factions do we have covered right now? What are we thinking?
All right. Well, let's see. Industry
Well,
doesn't.
you know what? Actually, I got a small idea just to help develop this town a little bit, and maybe compartmentalize a little bit of one of our characters' newest developments. The question is, do you already have it, or do you already have your companion Moon, or is that something you're going to start with, or is that something roleplay wise? Because I was thinking, if we're going to have this, we need a pet store owner.
Level 1.
But if we could have like just a general pet store owner.
Yeah, because the idea is that he took it as his
Level 1.
level 1 feat, so he's
Yeah.
in this universe he's always had it.
Yeah, so Razzle's gonna be like,
You know,
where
to
did
set
this
up for
thing
the
come
fact
from?
of the baby Drago perhaps later on, or at least caring for our companions properly, we need a nice pet store owner. Whether they be like from the Feywilds or whether they be a more material plane person. Maybe they're even a ranger, so they go like out into the Feywild to tame wild creatures to sell as pets for people.
All right, so
Make a
I'm
profit.
actually going to take this idea for this, and that's actually probably going to be. I'm going to put that under the next category, which is oddities of the town. For Volt, because that is actually a kind of a cool idea. This I'm not going to say necessarily pet shop, but
Probably.
menagerie of the bazaar.
An airy. Yeah.
So it's basically the Mystery Shack from Gravity Falls.
I'm thinking more like Greatest Showman.
Okay.
Yeah, this is more focused on actual having magical bees, not artifacts and all
And
sorts
where
of
to
other
find them.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Obviously, the shop owner's name must be Newt.
No. Can't
Not Newt.
copyright.
Oh.
But yeah. Okay, I gotta stop putting Volt's Razzle's information in Volt's section.
That might make a huge
I thought I
difference
was
in
the
plot.
drunk one.
Why is this random drunkard befriending me?
Okay.
Well, we drunks are typically better, friendlier people.
Because yeah, the factions were like industry hasn't nothing really happened. Much has happened with industry. Colleges, we have a lot of stuff. Justicar, we have some stuff with. The noble houses has a lot to tied to Moon. Dawnseekers haven't had much done with them. Wild Blazers, I'm going to kind of tie your Menagerie of the Bazaar thought there to them. Cult of Fading Light has a ton of stuff with them, with Razzle, and nothing much has happened with the God Killers.
Well, I think the God Killers sound like, and I cannot really say in any confidence I can think of anything friendly my character would have to deal with the God Killers in the first place.
Oh, actually, no, I'm actually
It
planning.
would be very hard for me to spin my character in any way to find a way to make those characters
Yeah, no,
anywhere.
actually, that's the point. I was actually thinking of making your antagonist affiliated with them.
Yeah, that's possible too.
I was gonna say, unless your friend, like, you don't know your friend's a part of the God Killers until, like, later, like.
Oh, that would be a nasty plot twist to go like, okay, you made this really good friend, but did you know that they hate God?
Just remember, they are not after the literal gods right now. I mean,
authority in general.
Yeah, they might go that way if they go like all French Revolution on this, but
Crusaders and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh god, I'm just picturing Dragon Age 2 with like Anders blowing up the Chantry.
I have never actually played 2. I barely played 1, to be honest.
I was gonna say you're not missing much. I miss ditching 2.
So, all right. Friendlies for Volt and Lilith, or maybe Moon. Why is it harder to come up with a friendly than an antagonist?
Okay.
But it's good to think about opposites to our characters as opposed to characters that feel.
Jane, Leah's trying to talk there.
Sorry.
Yes, I got something. Based on that idea of the whole thief guild that we were mentioning before, basically a kind of like the person who runs the guild and kind of teaching me more about thievery and sneakiness and stuff like that.
Maybe a fence.
Yeah.
Someone you sell your goods off and is willing to talk shop with you.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking like the Spitfire to her Rainbow Dash in a way, like kind of a semi.
Yeah, maybe someone who's kind of retired from the active duty and more worries about moving the goods after the fact.
Yeah.
All right, I got some ideas there.
All right, I got a minor idea for my character. To step away a little bit from what I was saying before.
All right.
Just there could be a friendly priest of another faith. Keyword has to be another god. So that way, this is someone I could still get along to, but as someone who, understands, and thus part of my whole God's creed or whatever is being tolerant of others is just, hey, well, we both have similar gods that could be friends, and thus we can share interest and stuff, even though we have different beliefs.
And actually, that kind of gives me an avenue I can work into Moon's plot. Maybe make it a priest or priestess of the Moon Queen, the Moon Princess. I can't talk.
No, I'm fine with her being a Moon Queen.
Yeah, of course you would.
But no, I think having that, and then you have two sides of the same coin, in very close proximity to your character, and we can kind of have that also tie into Trevor's plot, where he wants to be involved in this division or clash. So I think
of Moon versus Nightmare. Is there?
Yeah, duel of the Knights. So
the two sides of the moon.
Cool. So, yeah.
I was going to make the joke. Oh, yeah, your friend's like a crazy priest of the unspoken.
Nope.
Cthulhu!
Alright. Last thing for this bit of town fleshing out here. Something just interesting or odd about the town. Jane does not need to do this because it is already been
somehow I have contributed more to this than anything else so far.
So, yes, so. What interesting thing would you like to see in town? This is just kind of more of like whatever stuff you want that doesn't really fit in one of the other categories. So.
I was going to make the joke, the lingerie.
I don't know when, but at least at some point, especially if there is that castle there, there needs to be social events held there. Okay. Balls, feasts, and things that would be significant, for us to attempt to gain invitations or whatnot in order to be able to be seen and thus increase our reputation, as well as potential challenges that we would then might have to overcome at said things, either due to someone else trying to sabotage it or whatever.
Or maybe someone in the party trying to sabotage it. Lilith?
Cough, cough, Miss Steve, cough, cough.
No, I kid. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it does happen, but...
I was going to say, in that castle, there should be...
No, that may be very much what could happen the very first time we go to this ball. Well, it's like, oh, shiny new place. I want to steal...
So what are you trying to say there, Dustin?
I was going to say, there should be like a vampire thing at that castle, like... Because I'm just thinking, like, we have a very night theme here with everything.
Yeah. I like the fact that the strongest presence is the night in a town called Dawn's Watch.
Yeah.
So
it's always darkest before the dawn.
Yeah, they're watching for the dawn, not necessarily watching the dawn. So yeah. All right. So yeah, we have the social events for Moon there. So what? Razzle and Lilith, any fun stuff you want for your guys and gal?
I was gonna say a circus type of thing, but I'm just like, I think we already had that with the Miragerie.
Yeah. Also, I'm probably gonna reuse that gruff Phoenix Wolf NPC for something because that one worked too well. From the Ashes game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. But yeah, so just anything you think would be interesting to see or something you think might be cool to have in the town. Like, just like, oh, cool, this would be neat.
Obviously, we need Queen Rose.
No. We are not having
a
time
random
travel.
NPC backup character who could just basically be at the bar and be singing only to get ignored by everyone. I know, you loved Queen Rose.
She was an entertaining character, that is the fact.
And we might go back to those characters eventually.
Maybe. we might do another tournament across time and space where we just bring characters from multiple campaigns into one big smash up.
That would also be fun.
Like we find we're playing like in Fate, and then we pull like, you know, Rose from the Ashes game, Lilith from this game, Ella Girl from Masks, and something else for.
I'm confused.
The idea is that it's it's a big universe crossover event.
Major crossover event. Hey, Ella Girl actually would make sense considering the backstory I told far with her character.
Yeah. That's a possibility in the future, though. This is not the current time.
For now, let's focus on building this town.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, since it's kind of on the border between like the Fey Wilds and like the normal world, maybe like kind of random portals kind of opening up.
Okay, that's fine. No, that's something that I
thought this was like a physical thing, but
well, dimensional instabilities.
Maybe then that's the detail. Is it just how happened that the first time there was really a portal that showed up, whether it be like when the town was discovered or whatever?
Yeah,
just happened to be in the direction Dawn comes from.
Yeah, basically there is a point where the veil is extremely thin, and that's where these usually come from. But it is still thin throughout the entire town, so these weird events can still happen. So. Alright, something tied to Lilith for an interesting thing. And him... Let's see. Alright, back up, RPG. 5e. Jamming from the Ashes. Okay. I mean, if you want, you can grab the weird necromancer with undead servants thing.
I kind of like that idea.
Because that's honestly something that's kind of tied to your backstory a bit.
Yeah, because my dad was a necromancer.
Yeah.
He's a necromancer. He's still alive.
I'm killing him.
I know you are. It's okay. He's a horrible person.
But is he a necrodancer?
Alright, so I added the... to my list there, I added kooky old necromancer.
Yay!
All necromancers must
lazy concealed necromancer.
So yes, alright, so that's kind of our building here. anything else people want to add here? Because I think we're actually kind of good for the night here. This is meant to be just a short thing to kind of get the ball rolling.
Yeah, I think I've worn out my brain on the ideas front.
Yep. So all right. Well, to those watching,
we can do a little off-air character building after this.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring. I was planning on that. So, all right, to those watching us in the past, present, and future, I bid you all good night.